Hello, basketball coaches and basketball players. My name is Alan from Alice Basketball Training, and today I'm going to talk to you about the 1-3-1 basketball offense. I have always found the 1-3-1 intriguing because there's so many options that you can run out of it. It's good against zone defenses. It's good against man-to-man defenses. So today I'm going to show you a couple of plays off of it that work really well against the man-to-man defense. So let's get down to the clipboard and let's check out these 5 basketball plays. Okay, so in this first play, what we're going to have is player 1 dribbling just a bit towards that right side. We're going to now have player 4. He's going to be setting a screen on player 2, and player 2 is going to be using that screen. At the same time, as soon as that screen gets set, we now want player 5 to set a back screen or a screen on player 4 so that now one of two things can happen. We can have a bang-bang pass with player 2 to player 4 for a layup, or we can have just a straight pass to player 4 for a layup, or we can have a pass to player 3, for player 2, for a 3-point shot. So there's a couple of different options here. We have to make sure that when player 4 is cutting towards that rim, he has his hand up and he needs to be ready for that lob pass. So if player 2 does get that ball, this is going to be a lob pass into him. And he needs to go up on that right side, because if player 5 starts sagging off by player 4 going up on that right side, he's able to use that rim as a protector against player 5. However, I personally prefer player 4 getting that ball from player 1, and player 2, if he gets that ball, for him to take that shot, because if he's going to take that shot, it's a high probability of it bouncing off onto this side because of where he's shooting the ball from. So player 4 is in prime position for that rebound. Now in the second play, what we're going to be having is player 4 setting a screen on player 1. Player 1 is going to be using that screen. At the same time, we're going to be having player 5 setting a screen on player 2. Player 4 is going to be popping out for that 3-point shot, and player 2 is going to be cutting across the key. Now the idea behind this is if we run this once or twice and we hit player 2 up for a layup, what's going to happen is player 4 is going to be sagging down to cut off that pass. Player 5 is going to be sagging off to protect that pass as well, because nobody really wants any easy baskets from inside the key. Player 1 is going to be fighting through, and after 2 or 3 times of running this play, you're going to have player 4 wide open for a 3-point shot. So you could quite conceivably run this play 2 or 3 or even 4 times in a row, and you can get a couple of layups and a couple of banger threes so that you can win the game. Now in this third basketball play, we're going to be having a down screen for player 5, and player 5 is going to be popping up. He's going to receive that ball from player 1. What's going to happen now is player 3 is going to be setting a screen on player 1, and player 1 is going to be using that screen. Meanwhile, player 4 is going to be popping out towards that side. So now, with player 1 using that screen, he should have pretty much this whole area of the court to play with to be able to receive that pass from player 5 for that layup, or even a mid-range shot or a 3-point shot. Now, if you would like custom basketball practice plans, go check out the link in the description below. Let's get back down to the clipboard and let's check out more of these basketball plays. There's 2 more left. Now, in this fourth basketball play, what we're going to have is player 1 passing to player 2. If player 2 cannot get open, he needs to go and set a screen for player 1. Meanwhile, while this is happening with these 2 players, we're going to have a player 4 setting a screen on player 3, and player 5 is going to be getting set up for a staggered screen for player 3. Player 3 can either cut along the baseline or a high cut across the key. Meanwhile, whoever gets this ball over here, it doesn't really matter. Player 3 is going to be cutting across, and he's going to be popping out towards the mid-range or 3-point line area. At this time, he's going to receive that ball, and he's going to be taking that shot. This is a quick hitter. So as soon as he gets that ball, he needs to jack up that shot. Player 1 needs to go in for the rebound. Player 4 and player 5 is already there. I always like to have 3 players getting that rebound. Now in this fifth basketball play, what we're going to be running is we're going to be having player 4. He's going to be setting a screen for player 1. Player 1 is going to be using that screen. At the same time, we're going to be having player 3 go down deep into that low corner, and we're going to be having player 4 roll off of that screen. Now, once that screen is set and he starts rolling, we need to get player 5 out of the way, and we need him to be setting a screen on player 2. He's kind of the backup option. Player 4 is going to be the number 1 option. He can go in for that layup. If player 4 is unable to do that and player 1's unable to hit that 3-point shot, what's going to happen now with player 5 setting a screen on player 2 is player 2 is going to use that screen, and one of two things can happen. He can either bang that 3-point shot, or he can cut towards the rim. Player 4 is going to be continuing out, and with player 2 cutting towards the rim, if player 5 isn't trying to stop that drive and player 2 is still caught on player 5, what's going to happen now is with player 2 getting that ball, it's going to be possibly drawing in a double team because nobody really wants anything inside that key. So that could be now leaving player 3 open for a 3-point shot. Now, I hope that these basketball plays help your team win more games. If they do, let us know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys again later on today for our second video of the day.